Hi, remember me? Still my face. Today's "Oh my goodness, how long has it been" dance is brought to us by coffee in the Snoopy mug, because some things never change. And Snoopy is always soothing. And coffee is always the right choice. If you're new here, or it feels like you're new here because you haven't seen me in like 6 months, I'm Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitch and anything else I come up with. If you're a returning visitor, thank you. Welcome back. Where have I been? Right here. I haven't moved. Things got hectic. The world got hectic. A lot has gone on. After my father passed, it got difficult. He had an estate to deal with. We had a wedding that came up. We had the holidays. We had a big old bucket of depression that, we still drag around with us. It's like the sloshy mop water of depression that you drag around with you. You get it. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, I have not been motivated to make a video and make the videos that I want to make, because everybody will say, Andrew, you don't need to do your hair. You don't need to put makeup on. Oh, yes, I do. I'm putting me out on the internet. I'm not going to look like a bag of moppy water. I'm going to look as little like it as possible. So yes, having the energy to do this has been tough, but it doesn't mean that I haven't been stitching. I have many things to show you. And you will have to forgive me. I have not done this in a while. I don't remember the names of half of these, so I have my tablet. We're going to bounce around. It's going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. Let's just get through this. My first finish is the 2020 Prairie Schooler Santa. There he is. He is on some type of 40 count linen that you're probably seeing I have to remember over here so I can put the information over there. Is that how I do it? That's how I do it. I don't know. There he is. All the info is on the side. I have enjoyed doing these. I have this one that is finished. I have a whip that is another one, and I have a little haul to show you, which includes a few more. So I think once I finish the second one, it's when I get another video going and stuff. We'll do giveaways for those ones so that we will keep these rotating in circulation. My plan with these is I'm going to do them all on 40 count, but not necessarily the same fabric. So that way, if I do end up like with a tree of, Santas, they'll all be about the same size, but don't necessarily look like they were all stitched at the same time in the same way, because I'm not changing out the colors, because Prairie Schooler knows what to do with colors. I just follow their lead. My next finish is Halloween. This is from the Primitive Needle, and I think that came out great. And I changed all the colors in this, because even though Lisa was also quite the genius with colors, she also had this thing for very expensive silks, which was interesting with the primitive style that she had. But this I actually did in the dark silk, is what's part of the hank that I bought many years ago to do the Salem homage respected thing. It was the first and only hank of silk I've ever bought, and so I'm still using it. So it has that, and it has, I want to say, 2 over dyes for the orange and the yellow, and I kind of took a little liberty with the yellow where it was. But I think this came out great. I think it's going to look great either in a frame Like, I thought about maybe a pillow. Like, it's too big for like a double pillow, but it could be put out as a pillow. It would be too heavy if it was a pincushion. There are many options. And I don't know who I'm kidding. This is going to go in the finish bin and may never see the light of day again. But we can pretend, right? The magic of imagination. You will also forgive me if I showed some of these finishes in my last video, long ago. I don't remember, and while it would have made sense for me to go back and watch that video to find out what I had talked about, I did not do that. I had precisely enough energy to get the stuff together and sit on the bed. And that's what we went with. So this is Happy Haunting, and this is from Plum Street Samplers. I believe this was a freebie. And I think I started this when I took a little vacation last year. I took a few days over at the beach and just relaxed and did some stitching. And naturally at the beach, I started my Halloween stitching, because why would you not do that? It is unusual for me to stitch on white Aida, but I did it and I think it looks adorable. I could potentially, if I wanted to, over dye it now, like tea dye it now, and it's not going to hurt the stitching. I don't think I may have one over dyed in there. I don't know. I'll make a decision at some point. I think I might remember telling you about this one at some point. This is Moonwatch and is actually from Gloria Bowlin. Bowlin. I like this. I like the way it came out. That's a lot of back stitching that I don't usually indulge in, but it really came out kind of worth it. And it does have a companion piece, and I've gone back and forth about trying to find it and trying to do it. And earlier today I was looking at this saying, no, we're never going to do this again. And now I look at it and I said, it would be so cute if I think the other one is a star. I think it would look really cute together somehow. That's assuming they ever get finished somewhere. You're sensing the theme, right? The next thing that I finished is Witch Moon. This is also from Primitive Needle. And I think I had this and I had already started it. And then McKenna over at 1884 got the rights to digitize it and then give it away. So it was free over there. I don't know if it still is. I took some liberties with the colors. I changed her skin tone. I'm not a big fan of green-skinned witches, and I think that's where she started out as. So I gave her a nicer complexion than that. And she came out super cute. And this is that, I think it's 40 count, and it's, what I have it labeled as is Mystery Linen Camo from Laura. My stitchy godmother. I have a stitchy godmother. She stitched me a pillow. I may have mentioned it in a prior video at some point. She sent me like this awesome fabric. And this is, I think, my favorite out of the whole thing. There was this and there was a gray that just I love. So I think she looks really good on that. I might finish her in a hoop. I have those little squarish hoops. Maybe she won't go in the bin. The finished bin, not the trash bin. I wouldn't do that. You can do that once I'm dead. This is another freebie I finished. This is Summer's End from Notforgotten Farm. And I don't think... I know I picked my own colors, but I think I stayed true to kind of the colors that they had suggested. Does that make any sense? Because I believe when I downloaded it, it kind of comes as a black and white and then a colored chart, but it doesn't give you specific colors. It's just like, here's an orange, here's a brown, here's another brown. But I did that 1/1, and I don't think I have a 1/1 project going right now, and I feel like I need to. Because I love a 1/1. Although I do not think, I think this is another case of my fabric shrinking in one direction, because I think it was a little more square. It was supposed to be a little more square. I think I would have liked it to be a little more square. Let's put it that way. My last finish is Merry and Bright. This is from Misty Purcell, and I believe this was from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And I have never, other than the Santas, and I really haven't done anything with the Santas yet, I don't really stitch like Christmas smalls, like, you know, pillows or ornaments or anything. So I really kind of wanted to do one, and I thought this was so cute. Love the red candle. Love the little bird. Love that it's merry and bright and not like dripping with Christmas. You know, it can be a little more, you know, non-denominational winter holiday kind of thing. And I like how it came out. This fabric is what? Hold please. This is 32 count Heritage, which is unusual for me, from Picture This Plus. I bought many years ago, like 3 or, no, it was more than that. It was like 5 or 6 of this sized little pieces of fabric from 1 2 3 Stitch, because I think this was the first time I had ever bought hand-dyed fabric. And it was my first modeled fabric. I think I probably got this. I got Ale. I got Legacy. You know, all the oldies but the goodies. So I think this is my last piece that I never used. And I think that was a good choice for that. I do have one more finish, but I'm not going to show it to you because I'm mean. I am actually going to the Stitch New England retreat this coming October. And there is a smalls exchange, and I've never been to a retreat before, and I've never been part of a smalls exchange. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. It's in October, so my first thought was naturally Halloween. Not everybody likes Halloween. Not everybody likes the Halloween that I like, that kind of thing. So I thought it would be better to go with like an autumn theme. And there are a million autumn smalls out there. But I kind of wanted something, I kept looking for a small that maybe I could put something along the bottom that said, you know, Stitch New England, you know, the date and the whole thing. And I said, I have design program and I have some sort of an imagination. So why not just design one? So I did, but I haven't decided if I'm really going to use it yet. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of it. And when I fully finish it, maybe like after the retreat, I will show pictures of what I ended up doing. But I think it came out cute. It was a great opportunity to use these threads that I have been just piling up. You know, the problem with liking stitching 1/1 is you conserve a lot of thread. A lot. So this was an opportunity to not stitch for myself, which meant I could go 2/2 and I could make it kind of big and I can make it a larger pillow. I can make it, you know, like a dough bowl size pillow. And I don't have to think about how, oh, I wouldn't necessarily want that in my house. First of all, I would, because it's adorable. But it was different stitching for somebody else. So hopefully that works out. So let's get into the whips. These are not all the whips. I don't know where we left off on half of the things that I have hanging around in this house. So I am just showing the things that I have worked on most recently that I can remember. And as we go, we'll discover new things together. The first thing I worked on is Templar Prophecy. This is by Long Dog Samplers. And I think I have said more than once that if you find yourself losing interest in a big project, take it out of the Q-snap or take it off of the scroll rods and look at it, because this is bananas. How much, I can't even see what you can see. What I did, that whole top part we've mostly had done for a while. So let's get this. It's kind of these bottom areas that I've been working. And you guys know, like, I've been working this in a hoop. Like, I've been working it in a hoop. Because I would get this thing jammed into the Q-snap, and I get it all set up, and I'd get the magnetic things holding the extra fabric, and I'd get the grime guard all around it, and I would finally get it where I want to be, and then I would work on it for a couple of sessions, and then I'd have to move it again. And I didn't want to move it again, so I just wouldn't stitch on it. It's counterproductive. So I took it out, and I just started working it in a hoop. And it's turned into, you know, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to having to work in, you know, across or in bands or anything like that. I go where I want to go, and I wander where I want to wander. And then when I move the hoop, it takes a couple of minutes rather than, you know, having to find a clean spot to put everything down and wrap it around and things and stuff. Limited amount of energy in there. I can't be fooling around with the Q-snap. It is entirely possible that I will finish this in my lifetime. The next thing I've been working on is actually a newer start. This is Welcome October from Thy Needle and Thread, with Thy Needle and Thread. And I changed out all the colors. I'm not a fan with how the variegation ended here, but I'm not going to do anything about it. I don't think I picked the best colors as far as the greens and the browns. There's 4 colors that I've stitched here, and it really doesn't look it. It doesn't bother me enough that I'm going to pick it out. I'm going to finish it. There's a nice big friendly bird up there that I'd like to get to. This is on a scrap piece of, I believe it's Wren. I don't have to believe, I could probably just look. Yeah, I didn't put it down in my notes. So I think it is, because I think this is what's left over from the Rolodex sampler that I did. I think this is the end of it. So just a cute little, I just wanted to stitch on something. There's another pattern, and it's Scarlet House. I'll put it up here. And I actually have seen it in the background of Saltbox Stitcher. And I saw it, and I was like, I want that pattern. That's so cute. It was so simple. It was just the pumpkins and the alphabet and the whole thing. I'm like, I want that. And it took me a while to find out what it was and the whole thing, and I finally did. And then I kind of looked around and I said, I have so many patterns. I have so many patterns. So many. That I have to have something comparable to that. And then I found this, which I think is I think it's a freebie. I think it is a freebie from With Thy Needle and Thread. So how could I go wrong? It was so similar. And it's going to be cute when it's done. And who are we kidding? It's going to go in the bin. It's fine. It's fine. It's the journey that matters. This is what we tell ourselves. This is what we tell our therapist. Can I just tell you, I store, like, these are the threads that I'm using for the October piece. And I like having it, I usually don't have it on a solid ring. I usually have them on one of those flexible keychain rings. But what's happening here? What happened there? But I didn't have one handy, I guess, when I was kitting this up. And I keep, a little tag on here that says what I'm working on. Yes, welcome October. I have a little clip on here that I clip onto the actual, little piece of fabric so that it stays with its friends. But I'm going to tell you, there is nothing more satisfying than these little clicky noises. And I apologize if you have headphones on and this is bothering you, or if I've just attracted every cat in your neighborhood, but that makes my brain happy. Might make yours happy too. The next thing I worked on is Moon Hare, and this is my HAED, and I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna put up probably what was the last time what it looked like the last time we were together. I can talk, I swear I can do this. It's tough to tell, I think, the progress because it's a HAED and it's one of those things where it looks like you've got 9 stitches in it and then boom, it's done. But I got bored, and so I kind of moved on to a new color. I think this ear is new, and I believe I filled in more down here. I'm going to tell you right now, I would not be stitching on this if I didn't have Pattern Keeper. I've probably said that before, but if you are stitching a HAED from a paper pattern, you have a stronger constitution than I do. I'd have thrown this thing out the window if I couldn't just like click the button and have it highlight all of a color for me to find. Yeah, I'd lose my mind. This is also the only current whip, the only thing that I have worked on in any significant amount of time that's still on scroll rods. I have kind of lost my love of the scroll rods. It makes everything difficult. It dictates where I have to stitch. I have to either stitch with my ocean frame setup, or I have to go downstairs and I have to use the Lowry. You know, it doesn't give me any flexibility. And so I just don't pick them that often. This is at least a small enough frame that I don't feel like I'm lugging it everywhere. So I'm thinking of taking the other ones off the frames and maybe putting those in the Q-snaps, because I think those are entirely too big to do in hoops. I mean, it's Death by Cross Stitch, which is ginormous, and Seedy Pumpkin Cottage. And I really want to stitch that one, like a lot. I think I need to try that in the hoop. Maybe I'll try that one in the Q-snap and see how that goes. Can't hurt to try. Sure it can. It can totally hurt to try. We're going to do it anyway. This is a whip I've been working on what feels like forever. This is Kathy Barrick's Heaven and Nature Sing. I've done so much. I have done so much of this pattern since we last met. But I just wedged it into the Q-snap last night. I mean, look at this. And so I didn't take it out. So I can just show you, I have finished the huge beast in the middle of this pattern. And I have done these lovely, I'm going to call them pomegranates? Thistles? I don't know. I don't know. But I did them. There is a lot done, and hopefully what you might be seeing is an image that I maybe took a few months ago when I was maybe going to try to make a video, and that just didn't happen. So hopefully you can see more of what, but I have done a lot. I have done a lot. There's still a chunk, technical term, a chunk left to do, but I hate to say it out loud, but I might have this done before Christmas. I mean, it won't be framed or anything like that, but it will be done. Being done is half the battle. The next thing I worked on is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is from Carriage House Samplings. I made some progress. Not a lot that you can see though. Well, you can see that I finally finished the big middle image of the 2 witches and the cauldron. And I finished that crazy ocean block that was next to it. That was like, I believe it's all solid stitching. I finished the block below that with the 3 coffins, and I have started the next one. So I am working my way back. I have this block and then 2 others, and then this is done. This could be, I think, the biggest project I've ever worked on that I could finish. Well, I can finish all of them, but when I finish this, it will be the largest one I ever finished. English, completely my first language. I love working on this. I really do. And I have not really, I mean, there may have been a gap in there where I just emotionally couldn't handle anything, but I don't think there has been a time where I really didn't want to work on this. Now, we could go back 5 or 6 videos, and it's probably me sitting there going, I don't want to work on this anymore. But I don't remember it, and therefore, it didn't happen. Because that's how we get through the day. So I look forward to keep working on this. In fact, I think I might work on this tonight. There's hockey tonight. And when there's hockey, there's stitching, because that's a rule. Look it up. So my last current whip is the 2017 Prairie Schooler Santa. And this guy, he might be a little hard to see. He's a little easier to see in real life, but he's got a lot of polar bear here in the white. And for whatever reason, I stopped stitching on his other leg, so he's, balancing just a little bit, but he's coming along really well. Again, I'm not changing out the colors on the Prairie Schoolers unless I absolutely have to. We've had discussions before about the green snowman. If I ever stitch that pattern, he's not going to be green. That's just, it's fine. It's fine. This is actually being stitched on the same linen as the other one, which is Vintage Luna from Lakeside Linens. I don't know if I said that earlier. I have another chunk of it, and it's actually, this was a gift. Please forgive me. I don't have the name right here. But she actually sent it, so there's enough here for like probably one more. She had started a sampler. And the stitching is so nice. It's such a shame that I just couldn't keep going with it. That's actually the Elizabeth Hancock sampler from Little House Needleworks. And, oh, she was doing it in the called for silks. Oh, that's so nice. I really am feeling like I want to do a sampler. Like maybe a Hands Across the Sea type sampler. Or something maybe from Kitten Stitcher. I don't know. But I feel myself wanting to do that. We'll see if I do. So those are all the active whips that I have been working on in the 6 months since I last saw you. I still have Death by Cross Stitch. I still have CD Pumpkin Cottage. I still have Crow's Lullaby. I gotta get that done. That, it should be very simple. I think the problem is that I'm not a huge fan of how it's coming out. I don't know if it's the fabric, because it's on that weird mystery linen fabric that I found at Savers. I was very excited about it for quite some time, and now I'm just sort of over it. So I have that. I was inspired by Stitchy Godmother Laura. She made me a pillow. To take out Witch's Christmas again. That is from Sarah. It starts with a G. It's over there. You're seeing it. It's fine. So I've taken it out, and I did put it on a scroll rod, but I haven't gone anywhere near it. But that is still technically a whip. The other whips I have are things for my Etsy store. Yeah. So here's the thing. I made this great idea. I'm going to tell you what the idea is, not because I think anybody's going to steal it, but because this is how my brain works. I want it to be a surprise. And it took me a long time. I have started this thing like 3 or 4 times, and it uses all these greens, and the greens didn't have enough definition, and they didn't have enough variegation, and it didn't, and it was bad. It was bad. And then I started it again. And for some reason, the stitching program I use, WinStitch. I have WinStitch and PC Stitch, and I'm never quite sure which one I'm using, but it has this quirk that I guess if you set it to alphabetize the list of threads, it doesn't always alphabetize the key with it or something. Anyway, I was a quarter way done stitching this thing before I realized that it was not putting the right colors in the right places. Just problematic. So I had to take it all out again, and then I finally stitched the entire thing, and I think I stitched it on 20 count Ada or something. And I didn't like it. It was too small, and when I design something, I get very fiddly with the back stitching, and I don't know why, because I am not an artist. Okay, so maybe I do know why. I am not an artist, and I have no other way of getting fine detail into what I'm doing other than backstitch. So I did the backstitch, and it came out fine, but not as fine as I wanted it to look, especially not for like a model for something that I'm going to put out for people to buy. So I went and bought like 4 different charcoal pieces of fabric, and I started it again, and now I haven't finished the new model to be able to put this thing into my store. I believe it has been 3 years that I have been designing this thing. Stop laughing. This is my process. And that's the other thing, is I have many other things that I want to design, and they are mentally in line behind this thing. So I need to get this thing out of the way, get it up in the store, and then I can work on all the other things that I have ideas for. This is why I haven't filmed in 6 months, is because my brain has a backlog. Obviously, in the last 6 months, I have had haul. That haul is not all in one place. It could be anywhere. All the threads are in the thread monsters. I also, YouTube is very helpful in showing you analytics on videos. And I noticed that when people bail is usually when I'm showing the threads. And I get it. I show them because I like to see things. It doesn't matter if the color's right or anything. I just want to see somebody holding stuff up. So I enjoy them. But I noticed that people do tend to bail when I, show the colors from my Thread of the Month clubs. So may or may not do that in the future. I actually canceled my Weeks Dye Works Thread of the Month from, I can get this out, Fat Quarter Shop. Jeez. They were going from, their model had been to send like color families every month, and then they were going to alphabetical, which still works, but it meant that probably a lot of them I was already going to have, and I don't think there was room in any of their other things, so I just canceled that. I have plenty, y'all. I have plenty. I'm still getting my Classic Colorworks from, no, I'm getting my Gast from Three Owl Threads, and continue to enjoy everything she sends me all the time. She's always a delight to work with, and she has a great FLOSSTUBE, so you should go watch her too, because she's good stuff. But I had an urge like last week to place an order with 123 Stitch, so I figured I might as well get some Santas, because I know I want to do the Santas. So I ended up getting, I'm a little predictable. I got the 2021. I love that owl. I got the 2022, which, yeah, those neon, yeah. And the baby penguin. It's all happening there. And I got the 2023, because why not? Why would I not? And I love the snowflakes. I'm also a sucker for lanterns. I have many lanterns. I have so many lanterns that I believe I have been forbidden to purchase more lanterns because I had many lanterns. They don't get a lot of use. They're all just up in the kitchen. You have, like, kitchens have that space above the cabinets that you put things up there and you pretend they don't exist anymore. That's where my lanterns are. So I should take those down sometime and clean them. Yeah. But I figured while I was buying the Santas, I might as well make sure that I have all the threads for the Santas. So I ordered the threads, including that neon. That's going to be fun. I'm going to hate it until I don't. And then, like, I'm going to just, every time I see it, it'll be a new experience. It'll be like, I hate that. And I'll be like, I love that. And I hate that. I think what I need to do is make sure that that one is maybe on a darker fabric so that, like, if I'm going to stitch with that, I want you to see it from across the street. See it from space. Guys, I think that's it. I think that's the stitching. I'm sure once I start editing this, I will find a million things that I meant to talk about, meant to say. Oh, my 2 videos ago, I did a giveaway. And I believe I gave away 3 things. I heard from 2 people. I didn't hear from the last one. I'm going to go back. Your name and info and stuff is here because I didn't look it up. I'm going to go re-respond to your comment. But if I don't hear from you soon, I will put that in a box, and just the next time I do a giveaway, we will give away whatever that was. The information is here. I'm going to re-comment on your comment, and if I don't hear from you soon, I'll just assume that you don't love me. That's not true. I will just assume that it's not on your radar, and hopefully you will visit again soon. Other than that, I have a bunch of projects kind of kitted and ready to start, but again, they are in, emotionally in line behind other things. So I would like to get those started at some point. I just need to make some room. So I think that is it for this video. Hopefully we will not have to wait long for the next one. For no other reason than you do not want to see me go through this much stuff ever again. Although we may take a stash, a tour through the stash at some point, just because 1, I need to remember what I have because I have so much, and 2, it's fun. It's fun to see what other people have. Let's not pretend that that isn't true. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. And thank you so much for your comments. There have been a lot of people who have checked in with me on Instagram and email and Facebook, places like that. And I can't always respond, or I can't always respond well. Sometimes it's just a heart or something like that, but understand that I appreciate every single one of you. You have kept me going, and thank you for checking on me. I'm here, I'm okay, and we're all going to be okay. Thank you for being my community. Bye, guys. Now I have to edit it.